Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero, and if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
Hey guys, it's Thunder Rosa and welcome to True Heel Heat.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble, episode 132, Drawing Bloody Business. We are here to review the February 7, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite, as only we can, and to do that, I am joined by the man of 53,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms here every Thursday of Tony Khan and AEW. He is Jimmy Macram. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you? SP3, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about honest criticisms of Tony Khan. It's easy to criticize somebody I don't like, especially when they're not good at their job. But The Rock was a hero of mine growing up, so that's a little more fucking difficult. So, boy, I don't think I can avoid that. How gross is that? I watched you guys in the Raw review. You guys went so light on The Rock. I wanted to yell at you, but
because I was on the flagship podcast, which is the day after everything went down. So that was kind of my initial reaction there, where like now I'm at the point where everything The Rock has been saying is that it makes me feel like today they're announcing that he's the special guest referee and that he's versing Roman in Las Vegas at WrestleMania 41.
if that is the case, that's probably best for everybody, I would say.
And if that's the case, I don't think that's the original plan. And I don't and I've been very adamant this week. I don't blame Dwayne. I don't blame Triple H. The biggest point of figure that I'm pointing at is the management of TKO. I'm going right to the top. I'm going to Ari Emanuel, because it's Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro who gives the contract to The Rock on a Tuesday to sign the deal to become a part of the board of directors. Included in the deal is WrestleMania matchup with Roman Reigns. So tell me, pray tell, how the fuck did no one contact Triple H in the 5 days between Rock signing that contract and you making the fucking announcement and him booking Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble? That's preposterous.
Sorry. I love Ari. Ari Emanuel can't pick Roman Reigns out of a fucking lineup. I'm sorry, he cannot. I refuse to believe Rock and Roman Reigns is his idea. Rock has been pitching this for fucking ever. That is the truth. We all know this, right? Yeah. This is the Rock's idea. He tried to pull this crap before. He tried to pull it with DC. And as a comic book fan, he came in with no respect for anything that was happened before it. Don't give a fuck about Black Adam. Don't give a fuck about Shazam. He just wants to come in, be King Dick, and be the big suit. And he tried to pull the same thing here, and it blew up in his face. If I'm Triple H, I'm here. Let's do it. Let's do Rock and Roman. Because I'm going to teach you to never stick your nose in my business ever again when you get booed for 20 minutes. That's what I want. But it's not going to happen. Rock's probably a little too smart for that. Let's pivot out of this. I'm a long gamer. You're still
a long
shit.
Gamer. You heard him? You heard him
Yes.
on the video? He says, signing off. You're a long gamer.
What happened to The Rock? He's a walking. I'll tell you this, by the way. I'll say this. I used to have a philosophy in life. By used to, I mean fucking 6 days ago. I had a philosophy. That if you start an artist, if you are an artist, you can never, you just can't. It's impossible for you to become a fully fledged suit. That eventually the artist is always going to win out. I don't care who you are. Triple H, Paul Heyman, Eminem, Jay-Z. No matter how much money you make, eventually the art is going to win out. Because that's who you are. And The Rock has blown that idea to smithereens. He's a walking suit. He's a walking PR. He is gross. I hate The Rock. I'm sorry. I'm so bothered. I hurt my feelings. I don't know. Hurt me more than hurt you, Dwayne. I still got love for you. But
It hurt Dwayne more. He heard Rocky sucks for the first time in what? 20, 30 years? Jesus Christ.
Props to you, fans. Is that St. Louis?
Yeah, that was St. Louis.
Props to you.
Yeah, I was surprised. I literally went out on Twitter. I was like, Rock's not going to get the 2014 Batista reaction. I was very adamant. Literally.
I wanted to say something.
10 minutes into Raw, I was like, well, I could be wrong. I tweeted that as well. I was like, I am never shy. When it comes to wrestling, you have to, and especially if you're doing wrestling media, podcasts, stuff like that, you can't be shy to admit when you're wrong. Admitting that you're wrong is the best way to gain people that respect you in this field. Not that just like you, but that actually respect you, because when you're wrong, you have to admit you're wrong. So I put it out there. I was like, well, I could be wrong.
That was shocking. Look at Cody's face. You can tell he didn't want to smile. I don't want to get in trouble.
Apparently he knew this wasn't going to work out. He knew they weren't going to fuck with this.
By the way, I don't know whose fault is it, Triple H or Rock or whoever, putting out this horse shit that this was the plan. They wanted Cody to become a Daniel Bryan. Would you stop it? Would you knock it off? Nobody believes you.
It's definitely H and Nick Khan that's putting that report out.
By the way, you blame Ari Emanuel, I blame Nick Khan. You're the motherfucker that sees him every day. Why don't you tell Triple H what the fuck's going on?
And you see Rock every day.
You're the best
friend. You're your best friends with The Rock. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Nick Khan is actually supposed to be the liaison between what TKO wants to do and what WWE wants to do. So you're right. I am wrong. We cannot do that to the great Ari Gold. Mentor to Lloyd, the great Lloyd, husband to Mrs. Gold. We can't do that. Can't do that to Ari. So Nick Khan, this one's on you. I was literally 2 weeks ago, I was calling you the MVP after the Netflix deal. But how did you not like that? Like, this is twice now in a week. I'm just stunned and baffled by the lack of communication and the lack of preparation WWE has. Like, it's shocking.
It's like they still run it like there's one central force. Of course, if this was Vince, he wouldn't need to tell anybody anything because he is everything.
Yeah.
One person needs to know everything is me. Nick, you're not Vince. You should probably tell your book or something if you don't mind.
So he doesn't buck. I think I'd probably Nick Khan's like, I don't even have to worry about it. CM Punk's gonna win.
Let's say we all thought Punk was gonna win.
we did. I think if that's the real reason behind it, then I'd be like, you know what, Nick Khan, I'll give you a pass. I'll give you a pass because I thought so too. I thought that was the obvious move to do too, Nick. I did too.
I haven't read anything that they changed plans, but I wonder if they did. Because like the whole planet thought Punk was gonna win. Like nobody thought Punk was gonna lose. I wonder if he fucking Punk. Oh, they can't deny. Anyway, I wonder if Punk called an audible or something.
Could be. We got Annika in the chat who says, I feel you, Jimmy. Hopefully they'll make it right at the press conference. I think they should do Roman versus Cody at Elimination Chamber, and Cody takes the belt off Roman and give Roman the bag to go to Australia. From Cody's promo, that is the easy solution.
Yeah.
From what Cody said, he said two things that would indicate he's taking the shot early is that he's moving his goalpost up, and that I want that title, just not at WrestleMania.
To me, it's a simple solution. It kind of depends on what Roman wants to do. Roman has a lot more power in this than we're giving him credit for. If he doesn't work the chamber, he's not advertised. I imagine he's not fucking contracted. I don't have to.
It's like the Monique going to Cannes to promote Precious shit. I just saw the interview with Monique and Shay Shay. It was good. It wasn't on the Cat Williams level, but man, it opened my eyes on Tyler Perry and D.L. Hughley and
it's rough.
And I mean, I already knew Tyler Perry wasn't worth shit, but like to know it goes that deep that he like actually tried to ruin her career and start all these rumors. Oprah was the more eye-opening one because she tries to put this nice little image out for herself all the time, and it's just like,
yeah. I always tell you guys, there's no nice billionaires. I'm sorry, they just don't exist.
Keep signing off in the live chat. If you are your first time watching us on AEWramble, this is our AEW Dynamite review. Usually we start at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Today we start at 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time because right after I'm done over here, I'm jumping all over on Fightful Overbook for a special NBA trade deadline edition of FMC with Jeremy Lambert. Of course, Jimmy, you're more than welcome to join us to talk about the Knicks. The Knicks make a big move. The Knicks actually got a good GM for the first time in our lifetime. They went out and got Bogdanovic from the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, after the OG, and they got Alec Burks back. I was like, they got a bunch of scoring off the bench. They got them and the Clippers got the two teams that I dislike probably the most. Have the two best rosters in the NBA right now.
How about them Clippers, huh? They might be my new team. We have a Sunday comment. You hate the Lakers. You might be the Clippers. I don't know. I'm shocked. Well, they start 1-9 with James Harden.
Yeah, they did. Well, I think it was 1-5. 1-5.
1-5.
But they've won 30 of their last 35.
It's jarring. Oh my God.
Number one in the West. They were after their win the other night. I don't know.
I think they just lost last night.
Yeah, they lost to the New Orleans because Paul George did not play well at all. But yes, we can talk about some NBA. We can talk about some WWE. We can talk about some AEW. So sound off in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. We appreciate y'all for joining us live here. Remember, show that appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for all the great content here. And hit the bell to stay notified so you always get alerted whenever we go live here. And of course, if you're sounding off in the live chat, like I said, we'll highlight as many of your comments as possible. But if you want to give back to what we do here, you can send a super chat donation. That is also important to what we do here. We're a self-funded channel, so every little bit counts and it matters, and it goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we got our first super chat donation from the great Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. We appreciate you.
Listen up, you prick.
We got Will who says this is firing season with TNA and Scott and Stardom and Rossi, but 6 months his new company will work with WWE. LOL. And I sent you a meme, like a tweet from Graham Matthews, I believe, of Bleacher Report, who put out the tweet of Thanos looking out after the snap, looking out in his countryside, and it said Tony Khan after regime shakeups of WWE, TNA, New Japan, and Stardom. Literally every promotion has had some type of shakeup, some type of drama, and it's not AEW. This is like the Earth 2 of the last 2 years.
Well, it's lucky for him not having a boss. He's free to run around like a nut job, do what he wants. Not that he's done anything to deserve to be. Not that he does anything to be. He's done anything to deserve to be removed as an owner. He certainly lost his job as a booker several times over the 4 years. God knows how many times. Anyway, but yeah, this is shocking. You filled me in on the Stardom thing. That is, I both feel for that guy and think he's kind of gross. And I don't know what's going on in TNA.
TNA, that one is just like, that was a big shot. D'Amore is loved, and they showed that love immediately after the announcement.
It's got to be something big. I refuse to believe that they're this incompetent. How long has he been there?
He came into management in 2018 when him and Don Callis basically had to recover Impact when it was on its like dying legs after the Global Force fiasco when Jarrett came in and changed the name of the company.
Yeah, there's no way the TNA rebrand cost that much where you think you're gonna fire the fucking guy. It can't have been that much. I don't know. We'll see. I'm concerned.
And get that shit right, TNA. You fired him. He did not step down. There's two different things.
Have they tried to pull like he stepped
down? They put in the press release that he stepped down.
Oh, well, maybe he did.
He didn't. I'm letting you know he didn't.
Well, you should let me know what he did then.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
That's what we'll be putting anywhere else. He married.
Huh? Well, I mean,
all right.
Yeah, that is a good question because with me, I just think about things that I learned recently when stuff happens, and I was like, I mean, I can see if you're Anthem, you coming up and being like, this guy's in management and he's going out with one of the wrestlers, and one of the wrestlers is getting a push, and maybe it's preferential treatment, and maybe that might be, if you follow the breadcrumbs there, maybe you can find something of why he got fired the way he did so quick. But yes, Scott D'Amore does actually go out with one of the wrestlers. In fact, it is Giselle Shaw, the current number one contender for the TNA Knockouts World Championship.
There's a Rick Steiner joke in there somewhere, but
I'm not. Yep. Even just alluding to a Rick Steiner joke. Yeah, that's right.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Is that enough? Is that enough to get you in trouble? I think it's enough to I'm not gonna say get rid of him, but like dating Giselle Shaw puts you in line for a whole bunch of trouble if that shit goes south. Like, what if you have to fire her? Then what? What's she gonna say the reason you fired her was? Uh-oh. Let's cut this shit off at the head. There's a door, sir.
Yeah, I don't think that is enough. I mean, you do have certain media people who alluded to Don Callis and rumors about Don Callis, and maybe Scott D'Amore is affiliated with that, but that same media person is the person who came up with the Jericho rumor and then kind of walked that back. So,
well, the Jericho rumor is true. I'm sorry. I know how guilty people react. And if he's not guilty of this one, he's guilty of 5 more. Sorry. I just know how people are. You don't heart emoji that if that's not at least partly true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do have a point. You do have
For
a
sure,
point.
he was not upset about anything. How dare you accuse me of this? I'm innocent. Bah, 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 bah. Not a word. Not a peep. Nothing. Yeah, you know what? Come on. It's okay, Chris. It's all right.
All right. It's all right, buddy. It's all right. We got you. We got Frantic World in the chat with us. We got Trey Jones who says we all knew Oprah wasn't shit.
Jesus. All right. I want no smoke with Oprah of any kind.
Valabi says, I want to hear Jimmy say he didn't enjoy this episode. He like dare you. Like
It was so weird. It's so weird. Can you imagine shooting three threes? They all miss. Then you shoot now when it goes in. You go, yeah, say I ain't shit. I love that.
Nah, come on. That was like, nah, that's like you have a basically how I could describe this year of AEW Dynamite television. Week 1, you started off the season with a solid 20.6 assists game. The second week, homecoming, you were at home for the first time in the season, and you had 25 and 6 assists. You had the same amount of assists, just slightly better than the game before that. And the game after that, you had like 15. Yeah, like 15 and 4 assists. Game after that, you had like 10 points. No, the game after that, that's when you had a stinker. You had 0 points. You were like 0 for 17. And then last week, you had 6.
So last 2 weeks, we're saying 15, 10, and 6?
No, I said it was 15, 0, 6 was the last 3 weeks.
I don't know if that's my numbers exactly, but that's probably my average I have for the last 3 shows. That sounds about right. Yeah, and then he had a big game here. That doesn't mean you didn't suck the last 3 games. Sorry.
But you gotta acknowledge, but you what I think that why you get comments like this is because it feels like you don't want to acknowledge that the show was great and that you rather focus on the fact that the previous shows were not as good.
Here's what people don't realize.
You sometimes do that. As someone that talks to you often about a great episode of Dynamite, you often tell me about all the other weeks that wasn't as great as this week, more than you talk about the actual show that's great.
Well, of course I would talk about fucking 3 more than 1. That's how that works. That's math. And number 2.
I'm talking about when we reveal the actual episode.
Yes. The other 3 are fresh in my mind as well. We're talking about these 4 weeks. I will try to focus on this week. But you said people feel that way. People's feelings are not my job, sir. I'm sure maybe not. You seem to be a little nicer than I am, at least these days. But people may feel that I'm calling them stupid. But like I'm not in fact calling you stupid. Those words never came out of my mouth. I'm just making you feel stupid. And you think that that's me fucking saying you're stupid. I didn't. Sorry.
I heard this suggested earlier, I believe, on the Wrestle Talk podcast. John Jay saying TK should bring Scott D'Amore in and just hand him the women's division.
Not until I know what the fuck happened. Absolutely not. Nope.
He's like, I ain't gonna do that too quick. No.
Nope. I got to talk to quite a few people.
I mean, Don will probably be his way in, though. Because him and Don are like best friends. So
I like Don Callis, but I've heard some things there too.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like
being a creep isn't a crime.
If you've been in the wrestling business long enough, you're gonna have a story, I guess.
That's why I don't shit on Chris Jericho too much, because what he's accused of isn't a crime. It's gross. It's not criminal. So I'm not too hard on Don Callis. Like, you're just kind of creepy. Sorry, sir. Love you.
Valavi says, nah, Scott was only passionate for TNA and nothing else. He's independently wealthy and he'll sit it out until they come crawling back. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if TNA walks this back.
If he did nothing awful, then no. He might walk it back. But to make a decision like that feels like to fire your guy, that's a pretty heavy decision.
Yeah,
I can't imagine you coming to that lightly. It's like you fired a wrestler. You didn't fire Dragon for choking out Justin Roberts. This is like a much bigger thing.
Yeah.
dating a wrestler though, dating a trans wrestler, who if you fucking fire, could lead to serious shit. I get why that's concerning. Maybe they told him to break it off. He said, no. Okay, well. Now I'm hearing they said they fired him for he wanted a bigger budget. You don't fire somebody for wanting a bigger budget unless he calls you a cunt right afterwards.
We do have another comment here for Power Driver Finisher saying, genuine question, is there something Maria Kanellis brought to the table for booking the women's division? I mean, respectively, what's her credibility? I mean, she's a woman. So I mean, I think that's really kind of the biggest thing of why people want her there and what's her credibility. She knows how to book women a lot better than a man knows how to book a woman talking and a woman how women act towards one another. I think that Maria can have those kind of nuances a little bit better. Now, as far as any credibility, as far as her previous work, she was booking the women's division for Ring of Honor when no one was watching Ring of Honor. So,
was it any good?
I mean,
by nobody, I mean, I think you mean you plus nobody.
Yeah, well, she put the women's title on Roxanne Perez when she was an up and coming star, when she was only like 19, which she has a good eye for talent. At least she saw someone that WWE kind of grabbed on up a few months later, so obviously she has a good eye for talent and knows who to position as like kind of the anchor and the face of the division. So that's all I can really say about based on her work there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ray's been around a long while. That's all I got. Sorry, and she's a woman. Sorry, that's yeah.
Oh my God, Trey Jones said Jordan Poole numbers. Yes, 2024 has kind of been like a Jordan Poole on the Golden State Warriors, at least. Because it's a great roster. It's a great roster, but it's Jordan Poole. It's Jordan Poole. It's Jordan Poole on the Warriors. Not Jordan Poole on the Wizards, because they still winning. Because, man, like I said, the 2024 has been a whirlwind for every company except for AEW. AEW, the only times I've been talking about them on the flagship podcast is only about who they're signing. And that's a world of difference from 2023 and 2022, when literally every week AEW was the top news story for something bad that happened. Like it's kind of weird, and I'm still confused at the fact that AEW doesn't have. I'm like waiting for them to join the
I wouldn't talk too soon. It feels rather bold of you, especially when you've got Jericho and Tony Khan there. Anything can happen. I'd be very careful.
Please just get rid of Jericho. Like it's like the only reason, honestly, heads up, spoiler alert for my ratings at the end. The only reason this show does not get a 10 out of 10 is because of him.
A 10 out of 10. Oh, we are going to disagree. All right.
We got a super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. As always, we always appreciate the super chats, especially the big ones like this one.
They go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous, Sid.
Ridiculous.
Will says the crazy thing is that there's going to be people are going to walk to join Rossi, and Julia stuff is going to be the one if this company work with WWE or not, because it looks fishy to be real. As far as like the Rossi and the new promotion, I think it is going to be a real thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if people who outgrow that promotion go directly to WWE afterwards, like it's been the case for Stardom for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I will give them credit. They don't really leave things up to chance. You would think being the biggest wrestling promotion in the world would be enough. I'm gonna cheat on top of it. Fuck that. It's kind of gross. Whatever. Hey, I don't pretend to understand the world of suits and how they get what they get done. It's just gross.
That's a great description. That was a great call. We got another super chat donation from who else? Of course, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will.
Let's fucking go.
Will gave us $225 during the flagship podcast on last Saturday.
Jesus,
I had never seen $100 super chat before until Will just. That shit was all in red. That shit was in red. It literally, it was like I didn't have my screen on the chat, but Chrissy did. So Chrissy respond like, "Oh my God, Will!" That was her response. And I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I clicked on this girl. I was like, "Oh shit, okay, all right, cool."
Yeah, we gotta give Will some type of intro.
Absolutely.
Nick Jackson's there for insulting me.
This is true. This is true. Well, we might need you to become the new disclaimer. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, Nick. You done been replaced. We're gonna need Will to be the new disclaimer. We got also in the chat. Will saying, I'm sorry. Will saying, I'm just asking, but the way TNA women talk that Gail Kim is the one that it books the women's division. She is the one that books the women's division, but it's all a big thing, but the final say goes through Scott D'Amore. It's kind of like Vince or Tony Khan in that regards. But yeah, Gail Kim, it is that's kind of like why I said with Maria, like I didn't immediately shut that down. I'm just like, she's a woman. She knows how to book women, and the Impact TNA Knockouts division has been one of the highlights of the company for the past 5 years during the Scott D'Amore era, and a lot of that comes down to him giving the reins to Gail Kim.
Yes, and she's doing a really good job from what I've heard from everybody, and props to Scott D'Amore for giving them quite a bit of time. That's kind of how that works. The more time you give something, the more people are invested in it. See SmackDown, where fucking Damage Control almost outdrew Cody and Roman. What? Io Sky Bailey, go ahead. What the fuck?
Almost. Almost. To emphasize, almost. But yes, thank you for the super chat donation. But let's go ahead and talk about AEW Dynamite from February 7, 2024. Jimmy, what did you think about the crowd in Phoenix, Arizona? I thought this was one of the best crowds that they've had in a quite a few number of weeks.
That was a really, really, really good crowd. I was disappointed in them for one match where they were way too loud during the intro, then appropriately quiet throughout because Christian, come on, no,
come on, baby,
no, stop taunting. Keep abusing that taunt button, fucking taunt merchant. Let's go. Ugh.
And the show started off hot as we got no intro this week. No, this was like a cold open. We went right into the show. They give us immediately the big fight entrances for our opening contest. We see Hangman walking through the back before his entrance into the arena as he will go one-on-one for the third time with his arch nemesis, Swerve Strickland, who we also saw walking through the back before coming out to the ring. And of course, this match had plenty of hype. This is the hottest rivalry in AEW today. And boy, oh boy, did this shit deliver. They got a heck of a lot in this one, as I would say this is one of the best Dynamite openers ever. I don't know. It's up there. Like the one I think about immediately is Pac versus Kenny Omega, the Iron Man matchup from 2020. But this one was just as good. This one gets heated very early on. You see the animosity. They start off slow, but they immediately kind of take it into the next gear very early on when they take it outside the ring. They fight into the crowd. We get some crowd brawling, and they really kind of pick up the speed on stuff, fighting through the crowd a little bit before coming back to ringside. They get back into the ring. We get Strickland delivering a big boot to gain the advantage. Paige answers back with a fall away slam and a kip up. Strickland bites the thumb of Hangman and then applies an octopus hold. He tries to snap the arm back of Hangman Adam Page, but Hangman escapes. He hits a springboard lariat to the neck on the apron. Page then slowly picks apart Strickland. And this is where I really started noticing that Page was really working slow, really working a heel type of way, very methodical. But also he kept looking at the crowd because whether it was like at the start of the matchup, it seemed like the crowd was like split on Hangman, but really in favor of Swerve. But as the match progressed, they really got into Swerve and started to boo Hangman more and more. So I like how that progressed throughout the matchup and it added to the story of the match. We get Hangman going for the top rope moonsault to the outside, but he lands on his feet. Strickland gains the advantage by hitting the rolling flatliner. He hits a leaping backflip dive basically a Fosbury flop from inside the ring to outside the ring. Then he comes back in with a uppercut to the spine. He connects with the house call, but not to the head, to the side of the chin. Page tries to fight back. He tries for a sunset flip powerbomb, but Strickland tries to flip out of it, but lands on his head. That shit looked dangerous as hell. Strickland goes for the JML driver, but Page is able to spin out of it into a Liger bomb. Page is getting booed loudly at this point. I have my notes. He tries for a buckshot lariat, but Strickland reverses, dodges, and hits a fucking buckshot lariat of his own, almost as good as Logan Paul. Man, that was I love that spot. That was great. Then he goes to the top rope. He hits a swerve stomp. Even though the whole time I'm watching the match, Jimmy, I'm like, okay, this has to go to a 30-minute time limit draw. But that buckshot lariat into the swerve stop, that got me. I was like, that could have been the finish. Page rolls to the outside. He hits a pump kick from Strickland. Strickland wants a power driver while balancing on the freaking guardrail, but instead Hangman hits a damn DDT on the guardrail. That's a callback to their matchup back at Full Gear when Swerve actually hit the power driver on the guardrail. Back from commercial break, we see that Page has basically set up a table on the outside, set it up. He's looking to put Strickland through it, but instead he puts him back into the ring. After laughing in Page's face from the strikes he was throwing, Strickland comes back. He hits a big backbreaker. He then hangs Page upside down in a tree of woe and hits the swerve stomp. Page rolls out off the apron onto the table, but the table collapses underneath him, breaks. So Strickland says, oh, well, fuck all that. I'm going to get another table. I'm going to set that up. He brings him back into the ring. He goes for a 450 splash, but Page gets his knees up. At that point, Justin Roberts gives us the 5-minute call. Page skins the cat and levels Strickland with the lariat before going for the buckshot lariat. He hits the buckshot, turns Strickland inside out, but he gets a near fall as Nana is standing right there, but Nana does not touch him. Strickland just gets his foot on the rope, but Page thinks that Nana did that. So he takes Swerve to the apron. He hits a freaking dead eye right on the apron. Strickland is out. So Nana basically powers him up like he's fucking playing a Wii game where he dances to pull his energy up, which allows Swerve to get to his feet. He gets back into the ring at the count of 9. Hangman pushes him back outside the ring with the baseball slide and grabs the steel chair. He nails Nana with the steel chair, but that turns his attention enough for Swerve to hit a big kick to the face with the steel chair. Puts him back into the ring. He hits the swerve stomp clutch, but he clutches his ankle as he twisted his ankle on the way down. He tries for the JML driver, but Page rolls out and snaps at the ankle. Both men fight to the apron again, and this time Strickland hits a big dead eye off the apron through the table. He goes to the top rope. He wants a third swerve stomp, but Page moves out the way. Strickland collapses. Page pulls himself up on the apron. He goes for the buckshot lariat, but Swerve dodges it, hits the JML driver. 1, 2, time runs out. The fans couldn't believe it. They were furious. Strickland gets on the mic. He demands 5 more minutes with Hangman Page, but Page instead laughs. He laughs. He gets on the mic and he says that no, it was Strickland who needed to beat him to become the #1 contender, and he didn't do it. I told you you couldn't beat me without Mogul Embassy, and you didn't. You won't become the world champion, and that's fine by me. Tony Schiavone then stands up, and he announces that via Tony Khan, the two men are now both #1 contender, and we will have a triple threat match at Revolution for the AEW World Title. Paige is furious. He says he didn't beat me. He didn't beat me. The fans are booing Paige while Swerve is smiling with the Revolution sign in the back. What the hell? Did they pull off a fucking double turn? Did they pull this shit off? Because this crowd responded like Swerve is not a man that broke into this man's house and almost killed his baby. Like
Jesus.
He almost killed. He threw the shirt on a child. What are you talking about? He almost killed the baby. And Swerve is being cheered like he's a god. And I honestly believe this is kind of the basis for a great heel character when it comes to Hangman. After all the shit this dude does, y'all are cheering him? This is like Jericho in 2008. It's like, I get why you're upset, but we're still going to boo you. Like, you have a good reason to be upset. You have a good reason to be mad at this person, but he's just so lovable, so likable. Not lovable, but likable and cool that people are just going to draw to him. But this matchup, 30 minutes of just fantastic professional wrestling, the best AEW match so far this year. And this might have been the third great matchup of arguably the best trilogy this company has ever produced.
Sure. This was really good. I go great. Go great? Yeah, I go great. I would go great. I can't believe how invested I was in this match, considering we all knew where this was going. Everybody in the planet knew this was going to end in a time limit draw. And I was with them the whole way. Even when the table broke, it took me out of it. I don't know why. I felt it coming. Did the table look weird or something? I don't know why. I just looked at it like, this is not going to. And then fell on the floor. Maybe I'm always nervous, and this is the first time it actually happened. Swerve looked great here, as per always. Hangman was good. I have a question before I comment on the post-match. Is Moxley third in the rankings?
Yes.
Is he undefeated?
In singles competition? Yeah.
Okay. But then I like it. Because originally, I got to be honest, I was like, Heyman's like, you had to beat me. I'm like, isn't he still number one contender? Like, you both now have a draw? Like, I don't understand what your beef is, sir. But I guess I'll move Moxley up if they both had a draw. This was really good. I enjoyed it. I don't know why it didn't strike me that this would happen. It's such a clever finish. It's such a great double turn. I don't know why.
I was blown away. I didn't think of it either. I was blown away really by how simple and effective that was as a double turn of him just saying no to the 5 minutes, and it basically exploded the part of his character that we didn't like. That he said, oh, I want to be the world champion. No, you basically pulled the veil up and you told us that, no, it's just about Swerve not being world. I was lying. He basically said that by his response to the 5 minutes. I was lying this whole time. It's not about me becoming number one tender. It's not about me becoming world champion. It's about me stopping Swerve from becoming world champion.
So very pleased that we got back to the fucking point. Anything else? That's pretty good. My only complaint would be nothing involving tonight. My only complaint would be that we telegraphed the triple threat match a month ago, which we had better booker. We would not have. But whatever, it's not important. We had a great match here. We had a great finish. We had a great post match. This was fantastic. What was it, 45 minutes altogether? This was great.
Yeah.
And
great. There's a little bit more because we got to talk about what Joe had to say, which was almost as great as this matchup. But
you gotta be honest, I think Dragon and Hangman have got the greatest opens to AEW history. There's the two matches they had.
Well, I would say Hangman is probably Mr. Trilogy when it comes to AEW, because these are like the three trilogies I saw everybody posting about last night. The Danielson trilogy from 2021, 2022. The Moxley trilogy from last year, and then this trilogy with Swerve. That might be the top three trilogies AEW has ever done.
Jesus, these fucking losers. Who even remembers the Dragon Hangman for the third time? Anyway. This is good.
You can't be nice, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry. Dragon Hangman 3, random Dynamite. All right, whatever. Sure.
He's incapable. He's incapable.
It's not a trilogy if it's 3 matches. It has to be a sequence of matches. That's not how that works.
You can have 3 matches and it's separated by a few months.
No.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
You
what
cannot.
are you talking about?
You cannot.
What?
You cannot. So they have 5 matches.
Omega
if they have
and
5
Okada
matches,
didn't have a trilogy in 2017.
Who?
Omega and Dragon. Omega and Okada didn't have a trilogy in 2017.
I wouldn't know either way. I didn't watch. Well, so if they have 5, it's this greatest quintology. No, nigga. 3 matches in a sequence. Doesn't have to be right back to back, but at least within a year fucking period.
Yeah, you guys are right. Kenny and Dragon and Hangman and both Hangman and Dragon matches were openers. So yeah, it's quite the argument for any of them. This matchup, those 2 matchups, Kenny and Dragon is probably off the top of my head the best one, the best opener to Dynamite ever. Just the energy, that just seeing 20,000 people going crazy. Then I would go the Winter is Coming, the time limit draw, the hour matchup with Hangman and Bryan. And then this.
Flair and Steamboat's trilogy was over years. No, it wasn't.
No, it was 1989.
Yeah, no, it was not.
So it has to be 1 year.
See that?
Then that counts. Danielson, Hangman
see this
counts.
When these motherfuckers try to step outside their fucking lane? You come at me with Ric Flair, the greatest of all time, my favorite wrestler, second favorite wrestler ever? You dare? How dare you?
No, they literally, I don't know. I got to go down the comments. I'm going to feature a couple of these. But yeah, they call it the 1989 trilogy because Flair and Steamboat faced so many times that it's defined as the 1989 trilogy.
You can't call it the 100ology. It's the trilogy.
We got Trey Jones who says that this match was great. We got Frantic World who says this match was great. So was the ending too. King Potato says Hangman heel turn was so good. The way he became so livid after Tony announced they were both #1 contenders for the AEW title. I thought he was going to pop a blood vessel. It's so great because it just erased. It made me right. That's what made me so happy about the double turn because I told you for weeks. I was like, he's lying. He's lying. I was like, he's
no, you didn't say he was lying.
lying.
You said, what is he? You gave us even more BS excuse. What was it?
He's insecure. He's putting out the
insecure.
insecure.
He's deflecting. He's all types of shit. There's all this Dr. Freud horse shit. But in fact, they just turned around. I can't wait for the press conference. Cody was lying. He was setting Roman up. No,
Cody meant I'm not gonna face you on WrestleMania night 1. It's gonna be. Oh, we got Trey Jones. It says Nana was great in this matchup. His facial expressions was great, and the callbacks to the Wrestle Dream matchup because they did it both back to back. First, Nana trying to give the crown to Swerve, and Hangman being like, "You stay out of it," and then him getting the foot on the rope. I was wondering because Nana was right there. I was like,
right there.
Is Nana gonna do it again? And then he just slowly puts the foot on the rope. And I was like, oh, that's perfect because Hangman did not see. So I knew he was going to blame Nana. I was like, man, that's great. That's perfect.
We should have known something was up when Hangman started growing that goofy ass mustache. Should have known heel turn was incoming. Boy.
It's like all them elite members with them damn mustaches. Alexander saying, I think we get Hangman or Swerve beating Joe at Double or Nothing. Then we get Hangman, Swerve 4 at All In for the world title. I think that, I think that the right move for the triple threat is Joe retaining.
Same. Pinning Hangman, pinning Swerve?
Pinning Hangman for sure. Because Swerve, you could just go to Swerve and Joe after that. Swerve has his out and say, I was never pinned. Keep putting me in these triple threats where I'm not pinned. Like that.
Right. I'm the guy. I'm here for it.
We got Trey Jones. It says Swerve was just giving the baby free merch.
Absolutely. He'll grow into it.
Eventually, if he doesn't die. Like, what are you doing? King Potato says this was a pay-per-view level main event matchup that was given for free on TV. This was a 5-star match at minimum for me personally.
At maximum, sir. That's how 5-star things work.
Maximum.
Sir.
Maximum.
Anyway,
Where would you go? Because we won't do this on In the Stars since it's a TV matchup. Where would you go? A star rating.
I wasn't even thinking about it. If I had to say, probably 4.5.
I went 4 3/4.
I'm sure Dave went 5.
Yeah, Dave probably goes 5. Dave probably goes 5. Maybe on a rewatch. Maybe I go 5. Who knows?
Oh my gosh.
We got for Hail Driver finisher. He says great matchup.
7-star maximum. Holy fucking shit. All right. That's enough.
King
Can I
Potatoes.
basketball this thing?
Says, fucking prick Hangman laughing at Swerve's face, denying him 5 more minutes. Such a classic heel turn. Sleeping Angel says this was actually a decent episode of Dynamite.
Aren't you a tough crowd?
Decent episode. We got Alexander says that had Omega versus Danielson vibes. Crowd was hot, and the match had a big fight feel. Yeah, this was when I noticed that. I was like, this crowd is really good tonight. I was like, they were lively for all 30 minutes, and we had our very own Stephanie Hypes serving face and heels, adamant WWE fan. The show was in Phoenix. She went to her first AEW show, and she told me, she messaged me yesterday. She was like, the big difference between going to an AEW show and a WWE show. She was like, they were never quiet. It was like that strange, like. You know what's the strange thing? They were never quiet. I'm not used to that. Like WWE, you're used to silence during matches. It's like
imagine if you
you're in Japan.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a what do you call that? It's a very concentrated group of people. If you like took all the fucking women, no offense, Stephanie was there. Took all the women and children out, all the men who have something to do. You just boil it down to all the motherfuckers in their Bullet Club shirts and their acne, and you put them all in one building. That's fucking AEW. No, not you guys. You guys are great, but everybody else squeezed down to the nitty gritty. It's pure psychopaths. It's a compliment. I'm complimenting you.
Pure psychopaths.
I'm complimenting.
Jesus Christ, Jimmy, you can't.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
No women, no children, no men with something to do. Just a whole bunch of fucking losers in one spot. You're going to get a great fucking crowd. I'm so pleased.
Joe Pearl explaining why I gave the match 4.75. The table broke. The table broke. The table went into business for itself. You know what? I saw somebody in the chat. I don't know who it was. And I don't feel like scrolling too far up. But someone said, I think it was Power Driver finisher. He was like, oh, Cody and Seth was 5 stars, and we get to do that again at Mania. Yeah, right here. That 5-star match, I give it 4.75. Why? Because the fucking crowd was chanting for tables the whole night, and they had the heel bring out the table in that matchup.
I hate we want tables. It's the most fucking
it is annoying,
ungrateful chant in the history of wrestling. Ugh. And please don't put that into the world. We're trying to only good things until 7. I think the fucking press conference starts or whatever. Only good things. Don't put that into the universe. We don't want that in the universe.
He says, I'm just effing around. We got another super chat donation from the greats, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Will says that's the biggest thing Triple H has to change. Make WWE fans like work rate wrestling. They do. When a match is really great, the WWE fans do respond, but I think that WWE have just there's no unconditioning them. Like they have been conditioned to be this way during WWE shows.
Yeah, at least not without 50 years of work. I don't think H is gonna be around that fucking long. Yeah. No. Work rate wrestling. It's not on you. Imagine making billions of dollars and saying you need to change. No, don't do that. It's a terrible idea.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, please. All right. Next up, we go backstage after commercial break, and backstage, Renee Paquette is with the AEW World Champion Samoa Joe, asking for his thoughts on what just happened. Joe says that he acted happy at first, but was furious that this happened. He says both men had to beat one another to become number one contender, so neither of them should be number one contender. But he says that the powers that be don't want me to be the world champion, but they don't have any control over that. He says that both men will suffer because of this. And it is official. Samoa Joe will defend the AEW World Championship in only the second ever three-way matchup for the championship against Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland at AEW Revolution on March 3rd. Do you remember the other three-way for the AEW World Championship?
Give me 1 second. Omega, Pac, and Cassidy.
Wow, look at Jimmy with the big brain over here remembering things when he says he never remembers things.
It's the least impressive fucking world title match in AEW pay-per-view history. Of course.
Oh my God, no, it's not.
Of course, I remember that fucking. I remember that match being booked. I remember the actual match. Match might have been great. Who cares? But like, give me a match with the champion. Yeah, give me a match with the champion and two guys who have zero fucking shot to win. Sure, brilliant.
This is much different. This is much different.
Yeah. Only one of them has zero chance to win.
I think Hangman as champion now would be.
It could be fun.
It could be fun with this heel character.
He's getting the Drew treatment. You've got to treat him badly, otherwise there's nothing to complain about.
Yes. Yeah, but he has every right. He has every right to be upset right now. We got in the chat. Annika says Joe has to win at Revolution. He's the champ we need, and this was a great promo. It was like, man, you just gave us AEW match of the year candidate, and then a great promo by Samoa Joe. This is like the best 45 minutes of the show ever.
It's been a long while, at least.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. And then they're just like, we're gonna give you all the good stuff in this first hour. Because Deonna Purrazzo comes out for our next matchup, as it's going to be timeless Toni Storm going one-on-one with Red Velvet. I will be honest, I was still coming down from the high of Hangman versus Swerve. So it took me a little bit, took the commercial break for me to get into it. One note, we did have Deonna talking about how Mariah May stares at timeless Toni Storm. She was basically staring at her like she was in love. And in this matchup, timeless Toni Storm turned down the gimmick a lot because she said she wanted to show her technical prowess. She wanted to show that she can wrestle, and she got the win with a new finisher, as she said on an AEW digital exclusive on their social media. Her new finisher is called Break a Leg. It's an ankle lock, basically. Toni Storm getting the win just about 7.5 minutes was this one. After the matchup, Toni keeps on the ankle lock after the matchup, and this leads to Deonna Purrazzo getting in the ring and getting in Toni Storm's face, who basically sniffs her, not kiss her. I saw some people think that she was kissing her on the cheek. No, she was sniffing her. She had to smell her out, she said on the social media promo. But yes, timeless Toni Storm picking up the win, showing more of the technical side. And it really seems like her and Deonna Purrazzo are just having a good time working with one another. Like just that little, you could tell like they were holding back the smile, both of them, because Toni's being outrageous. Deonna's happy to be there with her and working with her. And like we said last week, this is the most effort they put into a women's feud. But this was a nice kind of like, more or less like a filler week where we didn't learn anything new, but we got Toni Storm showing off that she can turn down the gimmick in matches.
Effort, but much effort is fucking you put into that recap of the match. Ankle lock, and it was over.
I told you, I literally preferenced before I said it. I was literally out of this one.
I thought that was a prelude to no, it was the reason why we didn't pay any attention.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't have that many notes. Yeah, that's why I was saying.
I don't do the recaps. I don't do the recaps of the matches. Just pointing something out. What are we gonna talk about?
After I literally gave these people a very eloquent breakdown of the 30-minute classic, we got to start the show. I didn't get any credit for that. You didn't be like, you know what? You actually did a great job.
I don't want to be rude. I want to say, hey, speed this shit up. We saw the match. Would I say that? No, because then I'd be the asshole as per usual. So no,
and you're still the asshole, but I mean,
see? Do you see? I do my best. That's not enough. This was fine. This is a filler. This was filler. It's a title eliminator to see. Would you stop it? Stop it. I mean, Collision had Red Velvet beat somebody, and now she's. Would you stop it? We know what this is. You gotta have the woman on the show, so you came with some horse shit for the reason we can have a match. Knock it off. Give me something else. What was really hard at? It was fucking Statlander and Willow. Stop it. You had nothing for this week, so you should have done it. You should have done something else.
I like her showing off a new finisher.
Sure. Let's go with that. And you got Deanna Purrazzo on commentary, and she's much more likable on commentary in a video paggage than she is when she gets
or her entrance. Oh my god, the entrance when she had to
this bitch.
Like, okay, it's one thing if you do it to the cameraman. It's another thing if you do it to Luther. You did it to the fans. Like, I was like, yo, when she did that entrance, I was like, oh my god! Like every week, ever since you said she does not act like a baby face, it's like I notice it more and more, and it's like stunning to me.
Oh, nobody's gonna correct on this. Oh, we do not care. She's turning heel as soon as this match is over. All right, whatever.
We need some heels for Mercedes.
Another fucking likable acting babyface over there. Absolutely.
King Potato says, I needed a mental break after the first hour of Dynamite. So much emotion evoked. We got also, I love how everybody in the chat now. that shit, yo, the fact she did it to the fans, I'm like, does she want to be cheered?
Maybe she knows she's gonna be booed. She will be. People love Tony Storm.
Yeah, it's true. But then she got a good cheers here in Phoenix. Yeah, and so did Tony Storm though. Tony Storm got a bigger cheers when she came out. Eric Isaac saying Tony and Deanna's segment after the match was indeed tasty, to no pun intended. It seems like a bunch of people really enjoyed the Tony Storm and Deanna stare down.
It wasn't tasty, but I suppose you can't call it smelly. That'd be awkward.
Well, Tony Storm says she was going to taste Deanna.
I don't need that thought in my head. I had to work to get done today.
You got work to get done?
I need both my hands for it.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Damn, just...
I really liked Deanna's outfit as well. So
much better than the fucking shit she wore when she debuted. It's fucking heinous. Sorry. Sorry.
We got another super chat donation, this time from Christopher Kidd. Thank you so much, Christopher Kidd. We appreciate the support.
You don't know shit.
We got Christopher Kidd who says, y'all fucked up my schedule with this time change. I really wanted to talk about Hangman and Swerve. That double turn was excellently executed. 5 stars. Yeah, I mean, if you, like we said, we sometimes will rate angles and post-match. The double turn, because it came as a shock and it surprised me as much, I would give that a 5-star angle.
Jesus.
5-star angle.
I get crazy.
Efficient use of time, 5 stars angle.
Yes, if your boss ever calls you efficient, you're not their best worker. Sorry. He's efficient. Gotcha. All right. She's got a nice personality. All right. Yeah, it was efficient. It's like 4 stars. It's really good. Really well done. In and out.
This guy.
It's not the christening. It's not Christmas. Christmas not get crazy. The same stars. Come on now.
Okay. 4.5.
We'll meet in the middle, sure.
I'll meet you in the middle. 4.5. 4.5 angle, 4.5 stars. Overall, altogether, 5 stars. Yeah. We got another super chat donation from the great Will Chisholm once again. Thank you so much.
Because he wants me to work with pricks constantly. That's what it is.
Nevertheless,
it's like a double.
He opens his eyes. He opens his eyes, and then he has to close them again to say nevertheless. He goes, nevertheless. Oh, jeez.
That went down hard. Will says she liked Charlotte when she turned babyface and she snatched the title from the ref, and she remembered she's not a heel.
That's the funniest shit ever.
It is. It is.
Dummy.
My bad. I got a little bit of beside myself.
She should never be a babyface. Did you hear the rumors that fucking Charlotte was supposed to be? What the fuck was she supposed to be? Like Bailey's babyface, and she was supposed to like help her out and fucking once Charlotte turned on her, she was supposed to be this fucking like you're welcome back into babyface land. Charlotte.
Yeah, the big plan for WWE that they were gonna pitch Mercedes was, you come back and Bailey's feuding with Damage Control, and Dakota's gonna come back and then it's Dakota, Io, Asuka, and Kyrie, and then Bailey is joined by Charlotte, and then we move over Becky Lynch in the draft. And then you come back and we have the 4 horsewomen versus Damage Control.
Hello. Hello.
Conversation went.
I'm sorry. Banks is into Banks right now. I mean, Mercedes, as she should be. She's not 52 years old. She's 31. Time for her to focus on her. Sorry.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. Hello? Are you there? And she just asks, how many zeros are you going to add to it? He's like, everything possible. Everything.
I'm gonna take this big ass check for a year if you don't mind.
He says, I will give you the simplest answer I can. Everything possible.
It's not my call. I'm gonna talk to Nick and see what we can do for you. That's too tough for not what you want.
Not what you want. Not what you want. We got it also in the chat. Christopher Kidd saying, hello, well done, Jimmy. Yes.
Oi.
Polish Jen saying, laugh my fucking ass off. Triple SP3 H. The SP3 H's. That was great. That's great. Actually, apologize. Anytime I do my Triple H voice, that's what it's called now. Thank you. You gave it to us, Polish Jen.
Is it just the age, by the way? Or is it I don't know if it was a heart attack. His voice has gotten like there's a big jump.
Yeah, did he smoke like cigarettes or something?
Yeah, like from the gravelly it was before to the gravelly it is now. It's just like barely hear you, sir.
It's like he's whispering and he's like this and he's like that and he's like
he had a heart attack. I mean,
yeah, I know.
I feel for you.
Be understanding, We go backstage to Renee Paquette as she is with the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. She asks Cassidy about wrestling Tomohiro Ishii on Collision after having a 6-man tag team matchup on Rampage. Cassidy says he'll be fine, but Trent Beretta questions him. He's like, a match with Ishii? He's like, that's weird. He's like, okay. And then Cassidy kind of makes a face at Trent. And then he says that Paquette asks about Chuck Taylor and how he's doing. Cassidy says that Chucky T is there tonight, but he's getting checked on by doctors. So they'll go check on him like now. And they awkwardly are about to walk away. And Renee is the one that has to remind them how they always end the interviews and puts their hands in the middle. And Renee is the one that like, woo! Like she does a little noise. Like Renee was great in this segment. But I like this. This is an actual story. I don't know. I can't say it's a good one or a bad one, but it's an actual story going on here of Trent seemingly becoming a little bit more disgruntled with the best friends. And it seems like this story has really since Cassidy regained the international championship, but it's more of a slow burn.
A slow burn for a story 4 years too late. That is certainly a choice to make. I fucking could not give a fuck about anything Trent does. He's a really good wrestler. He's got a great look. I've been over for a long, long fucking while. Orange Cassidy, his European Championship, I care about a little bit. He went from fighting Moxley in the main event, beating Moxley in the main event. Let's not forget that. He beat Moxley at a point. Main event against him, lost, and then he beat Moxley, and now he's about to feud with Trent.
I don't know who he's feuding. He's feuding with Roderick Strong right now.
Oh, even better.
It's better than Trent.
Certainly a choice.
It's better than Trent. I mean, hey, I like the four. I like what.
All right, I did want to say
I'm willing to give it a chance.
I totally forgot about the actual thing that happened. This was actually really well done. I thought Trent came across really well here, like good acting, so to speak, good performance here. Cassidy was good. I thought the tones were right. You can feel this beef, but there's not overwhelming need to fight each other. I just don't care. Sorry.
Sir, I think that you're not going to watch Collision or Rampage, but we got to give them credit. We got to give them also credit. I always try to point out when Tony Khan is watching the Ramble, we did not get any promotion. This segment comes after the 9 o'clock hour.
Not quite.
Yeah, it was.
I was like 8:59. I looked at it.
This guy.
I looked at it. I'm always listen. That's the first thing I do when I hear Rampage or Collision mentioned. I look at the clock. Oh, it's 8:57. Great. You know what? Fuck it. Close enough. I'll take it. It's something. It's something of a professionally run organization. Whatever.
This man literally looked at the clock. like he looked at the clock, and I know he looked at the clock when it was like 9:01 and was like, "Oh no, this started like 2 minutes ago." So it's 8:59.
I would have given him credit. Would have given him credit if it happened. He didn't. It's close enough. I don't mind. He got the spirit of the role, which is what I asked. The spirit.
Let's focus on the positives, y'all. Let's focus on the positives. We got another super chat donation. That is a positive from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. So you get our favorite here.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Two more
Funny every time.
Will Chisholm saying it is good to see Damage Control is a draw. If you look at Io when she wrestles, how long it took Bailey to learn Bailey to learn Japanese. Yo, that was a great part of it. The fact I'm kind of like really upset that they did that on the same show, because honestly, I feel like that segment would have been even bigger like this week or next week. Because it didn't feel like it was even built to. I would have thought like this whole big segment would have felt like explosive. It was great. No, I'm not saying that it wasn't, but I feel like it would have been in our mind and been more of a talking point if it wasn't on the same show as that Rock segment.
Oh, certainly it would have been. I say that's a definite.
But also the story didn't necessitate that. Like really, like when you talk about the Sami Zayn in the bloodline, which from the beginning of the Damage Control dissension, that's what it was being compared to. And people told me, oh, Bailey's going to be just like female Sami Zayn. With the Sami Zayn turn at Royal Rumble, before that, you had the tribal court, the whole tribal court segment on the Monday before that. That's basically a big story beat to set up the turn at Royal Rumble. What was the big story beat for the Bailey and Damage Control thing? There was none. The last time we had any progression in this story was when Kyrie and Asuka joined the team in November. So I would have liked it if we had something here to set up what we saw on the show this week.
Yeah, I don't really buy Damage Control's mission. I don't know what their mission is. Firstly, I don't know if they want Bailey to fight Rhea and beat it over to Raw, or they want to beat her for WrestleMania. I have to see that before I make comment. But if they want her to go to Raw to be out of their fucking hair, then you probably shouldn't beat her up. It's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, and also like it's like you're saying, it was like the whole thing that set up the segment in the ring was just Io saying, "Tonight Bailey is done."
Yeah,
and they all started laughing. I'm like, why is Bailey done? Like she's been losing for months, and now she finally wins something, and you want to be done with her? Like that doesn't make any sense.
I don't think they like Bailey very much.
Yeah, I know. I know that was what the segment in the ring got across. But I'm just saying, before that segment, we saw the locker.
You don't think so?
I'm like,
I felt like they've hated her guts for months. All they do is talk Japanese behind her fucking back and giggle like children. Shit. There's another one to say. There's someone who joined our crew as a dumb wrestler, along with Wardlow and Damian Priest. I forgot who it was. It'll come back to me. Our stupidest kayfabe wrestlers ever. It'll come back to me. I'll remember it at a later date.
Austin Theory is also in there. He's still playing for the crimes of that Money in the Bank cash.
He tried so hard though. There were several times he tried. He gave it a shot. Damian Priest is fucking adult.
And then he said that he's adult because then he said, "You know what? I'm gonna cash in on the U.S. title."
Oh yeah,
and I'm still gonna lose.
That's a
stupid.
brilliant. It could have been a brilliant story beat. It just didn't materialize. Why would you go after Roman, beat Roman possibly, and then be chased for the rest of your fucking life? Why would you do that when you can beat Seth, who's got no friends of any kind? It's a brilliant idea. He didn't say that was the reason.
No, that is all you need to do to make it make sense, and he didn't do it. Does Triple H know how to book an effective men's Money in the Bank winner? He has still not been able to accomplish that.
He's 0 for 2.
He's 0 for 2. And this is and like depending on how Priest is in, this is like you are in the lowest tier of Money in the Bank winners. Like that's a bad 0 for 2. Like you're not 0 for 2. You're not 0 for 2 because you didn't take any shots. You're 0 for 2 because you took 20 shots in both games and went 0 for 20 in both games.
Yeah, this is a bad one. I'm not saying we should drop the concept, but these two have been bad. These have been really bad. Priest in particular is gross.
Just be like, yo, Sean, can you book this for me? Because all Sean does is book the stuff that work for him, and he does it very well, and it always works. Mello and Trick is the hottest feud in the company, and it's just all of Shawn Michaels. When Diesel turned on him, when Triple H turned, it's just that. It's just all he did, and it worked. We got another super chat donation here from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. You're always the very best.
Why you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy.
I got a hot Darby take. Remind me to say it. I might forget. I got a hot Darby take.
I'll remind you right after this. Will Chisholm saying, "I'm sorry, I don't care about BCC versus CMLL because CMLL lost all their matches to BCC, and when BCC gets jumped, AEW jobbers come help them. Now I really don't give a fuck. I was gonna bring that up during this next matchup, which I did enjoy, but I was like, I literally said at the beginning of the matchup, I was like, the CMLL guys gotta win, right? Like I was like, they gotta win, right? And
nope. All right, let's get to that horse shit.
Let's talk about it. It was the Blackpool Combat Club going against this team CMLL, which was Mascarero Dorado, Valador Jr., and Hechicero. I will say, I think I messaged you on Saturday when I was watching the show. Hechicero might be one of my favorite new wrestlers because this dude is like a totally different type of technical wrestler. Like, and you know, John Moxley explained it very well during the Wrestle Dream matchup with Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. that there's different type of technical wrestlers. Zack Sabre Jr. is more of a Billy Robinson, 6 seconds or less type submission wrestler where he'll go for a submission. If that doesn't work in 6 seconds, he'll move to the arm, he'll move to the head, and so on and so forth. While Brian is more of a reactionary technical wrestler. He knows how to counter wrestle and stuff. So he made for the perfect opponent for a different type of technical wrestler, which is a lucha technical wrestler who has the fast and pacing of a luchador. And then he mixes it with these great and innovative transitions. And he did that in this matchup where any guy from the BCC, if they threw an arm at this guy, he got him in the submission at one point. He went through all three of them at one point in the matchup. I like the little exchange between Mox and Volador getting in each other's faces, bringing the kind of fighting spirit, strong style strike exchange in this one. Dorado was flying all over the place. He had two really clunky moments where he made the hot tag and literally Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley had to stand by the ropes for literally like 5 minutes, and then he botched the move. So that was it was like a double botch, but it was one spot. It was like these guys had to stand here a really long time for you to not do the move well. And that was the only part of this matchup. But really, this matchup was CMLL really taking most of the offense. I would say they took 75% of the offense. And it took, in the end, Claudio Castagnoli, after a near referee bump, he picks up Petrozero. Looks like he's going for a spine buster. Instead, he knees him right in the balls and then falls on top of him. 1, 2, 3. The CMLL stars did not like that finish to the matchup. So the other stars, as they had Star Jr. on the S side, Espinage, and I'm missing one other name. One other guy. Mystico. Mystico were all at ringside. So they come over the barricade. They get into the ring. All of the luchadors surround the BCC. It looks like they're going to attack when Team AEW, as they're called, 2.0, Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal come down to make the save as they run off in this one.
Team Pink Slip.
And it was announced later in the show, it will be Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus Star Jr. and Espinage on AEW Collision this Saturday. And I was just like, God damn it, they're going to go 3-0 against CMLL? What are we doing? Are we trying to build them up as this new promotion that we're in a rivalry with?
No. Maybe you guys have all overestimated this. I think you guys have all said new Forbidden Door. Maybe this is just doing a favor for these bums and putting them on AEW for a little bit and then kicking them off. That's what it feels like to me because they put no effort into this. They don't care. They're just here to lose.
They better use Hechicero. Hechicero is that dude.
Sorry.
He was the MVP of this matchup for me.
I just didn't care about this match even a little bit. It might have been great. It might have been awful. I don't remember. I just waited for the fucking BCC win. And, of course, it happened right afterwards. It is what it is. It's over. Team AEW 2.0, Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels. What are we doing? Just get them their release. Stop fucking torturing them. The fuck? They'll win that match when they do that fucking 8-man tag.
They did. They beat them. They beat them already. They beat them on Rampage. It's like, fuck, man. These guys are really good. Like, we have already seen with the CMLL talent that there is a difference between CMLL talent and AAA talent. Like, at the very least, we can see that AEW cares about CMLL as a partner a lot more than they did with AAA. It feels like as well. And we can tell these guys are very talented and they're getting over with the crowd. Like Hechicero was getting cheered more than Bryan Danielson in Texas. And of course, Texas has a strong Mexican base. Yeah. So that also has something to do with it. But it's also because he is great. He was great in this matchup. He was great against Danielson on Saturday. You just need to give them some fucking wins. This was the place to give them a win. And it didn't have to be on Danielson. I understand Danielson probably has a title match coming up at Revolution. Didn't have to be against Moxley because I understand Moxley probably has a big match with Will Ospreay at Revolution. Could have been Claudio because I don't see a big matchup for Claudio at Revolution.
I don't care who you are. Booker T, DDP, Sting. You don't come to the WWF and beat the fucking WWE guy. I'm sorry. I'm not sure where you've been the last 25 years, but that's not how that works. No, you're going to come in here and fucking lose. Sorry.
You bum.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's Sting. Pedigree. It is what it is. I'm sorry.
Sting is a vigilante who's going against the authority until WrestleMania. He's just a WCW guy.
Here comes people he's hated for 25 years. Oh, it's cool because they're all from the
that's
place.
his backup. He was a part of the NWO.
All right. I don't want to keep shitting on Vince. Speaking of, so to speak.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, man. Wrong choice of words, sir.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
So, listen, you don't come into new promotion established promotion and beat their guys. That doesn't happen. Sorry.
That is fair.
Don't work that way.
But did you think that they should?
It depends on what the relationship is. I don't know. If they're gonna do the Forbidden Door thing, they absolutely should have won one of these fucking matches. If not, this is fine. They're leaving in March. No, it's fine. Come in, lose a bunch, beat it.
Get out of here. Get out of here. We got also King Potato says, you guys don't understand Triple H's vision. We're still in the bottom of the third inning, guys. Just let it all play out.
I'll be nice. I've had enough pain and misery for one day. I was gonna ask if The Rock is the new Hulk Hogan. I saw that, and then I saw that several times. And I fought it the first few times I saw it, and then I went, I mean, it's not wrong. I mean, Rock is older than Hogan was when he was pulling the shit. Sorry. He just
What? No, he wasn't.
Rock is 52 years old.
Hogan was pulling the shit at 52.
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan, when he was in his prime, was pulling the shit. And how old was he? How old was he?
He was turning 40.
57.
He was like 45.
45.
It's not that far off.
Rock is 7 years. For 7 years, is a long fucking time. That's 2 Steve Austin primes.
And Hogan was 52, coming back to the WWE and still pulling that shit.
I'm trying to think of the Shawn Michaels. That's all 5. And that Shawn
2005.
Michaels isn't as big as fucking Rock doing this to fucking Roman and Cody. It isn't.
No.
I love Shawn. But
No, it's not.
The Rock, how'd you do this to me? If Steve Austin pulls this shit, I might kill myself.
We got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will, as always, sir.
You fucking mark!
We got Will who says, we had to rush this SP3 because we know how WWE fans react to Japanese women sometimes. Outside them not knowing Bailey not full white.
That's hilarious. To be fair, outside of Roman, damn sure easily does the best numbers every week.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're over like Rover.
They are. That's what I said. I was like, there's 6 acts in the women's division of WWE that are over. It's Damage Control as a whole, Rhea, obviously, Becky, obviously, Bianca Belair. I forget. Nia Jax now. She's over as a heel, definitely. Nia, we appreciate you. And now Bailey, because she's on her own.
Agreed on all counts.
There's 6 acts. That's it.
I mean, how many you need? That's 3 a show.
I mean, you needed more for the Women's Royal Rumble.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Yes, Nia's over. Don't hate.
If I have to sit through 25 women that are not over, yeah, I'm gonna need a couple of more of y'all to be over. And they threw in Jade Cargill and Jordan Grace, who were over. Ironically, their songs were more over than anyone songs not named Becky in the Women's Royal Rumble. So that says a lot.
I think you are. Again, maybe things have changed the last 15, 20 years. But I watched that 01 Rumble recently. It's silent for most of them. That's how that works.
Not most of them. It's like 10 people. There's 10 people that's over in that match. The Hardys are over.
You said there's 10 people that are over in that match. There's 30 people.
Yeah.
So 20 is most. That's most people.
No, I'm talking about like really, really over. There was a couple of people that still got pops that weren't even what I would consider over.
If your music hits and people go, yay, and then you enter the match in the silence, that's not over. Sorry.
That wasn't a lot of guys like that in that match.
You don't think so? There's like you said, 10 people. 10 people over. That's not a lot.
Hey, that's double the amount that was in the Women's Royal Rumble match.
That's still most not over.
But that's double the amount of what's in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Alexander It says Team AEW looking like the Detroit Pistons.
Throw the whole thing away. When we get these budget cuts, let's go.
We also got Power Driver Finisher says I was there on Collision and yeah, he was awesome. Heshizero, man, that performance that was my AEW match of the year before Hangman Swerve.
Oh,
yeah, the best 3 matches I've seen from AEW so far this year. Best 4 matches because I want to mention this one: Takeshita versus Darby, the cage matchup with FTR and Daniel Garcia versus House of Black, Heshizero versus Danielson, and Hangman Swerve 3.
Sounds right.
You've seen half of those.
Hangman Swerve and what was the first? Oh, Takeshita and Darby. Yeah, really great matches.
Yep. We also got in the chat here another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will.
This is money laundering. I don't care what anybody says. I'm trying to clean your money, sir. I appreciate it. He robbed the bank. Those fucking don't want them bills on his conscience. Fair enough.
We appreciate you, man.
Tony Khan! This is also on you! Because you can stop this!
Indeed. Will says this window dressing of this year's Forbidden Door is say, hey, fans, look over here. Don't look how we fucked over NJPW with a smile on my face. But it's for the fans, guys.
Jesus, he hates his fucking guts. I agree. I don't even agree with this, but I agree with hating his guts.
What? You don't know the man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
He's not at his job. That's all that counts. That's all that matters to me.
Thank you, Will, for the super chat. We go backstage and they say, we hear a commotion backstage. We're going to the back. And we see that the Undisputed Kingdom is attacking Chuck Taylor after the little hint that we got earlier in the night that Chuck Taylor was on his own. The Undisputed Kingdom pull up on him and jump him, and Adam Cole tells him to get well soon. I mean, once again, though, Tony Khan watches the Ramble because we said last week, we was like, why they don't jump anybody anymore?
Right?
They were more effective. I was like, this freaking 10-second segment is the most effective that they've looked since he took off the mask.
Yeah, it's a fucking shame. This is ass. Yeah. Chuck Taylor. All right. Sure. I mean, Orange Cassidy, right? Roderick, sure. Wow. I can't believe this. I've never seen a flop like this in real time before. At least not that I can remember. Or just watch something fall flat on his face. Oh, what's my man? What's that gimmick? The Shocker?
Shockmaster?
Shockmaster. Thank you.
It ain't that bad.
He actually fell on his face. I can't see.
That's actually falling.
Oh, fucking that's a little slower though, because it didn't happen the first night. Carrying cross every time. Yeah.
It happened the first night on the main roster because he had the helmet.
No, I mean when he came back. We had the helmet. That was shocking. That was
I mean, it did not take long. It was like a month in, and I was already like, oh shit, it's over.
It's over.
No, it hit row.
Ooh.
Hit row without Swerve.
Ooh.
Like, yo, I have never seen something that I loved so much and one thing, and then they took away Swerve and they came out, and I was like, oh shit, this is what Destiny Child would look like without Beyonce.
It's like, wow,
that's stunning.
That's a shame. Oh well, yeah. Well, I don't know how long he's gonna ride this. I guess until fucking. I gotta be honest. My call right now, my prediction: Undisputed Kingdom will not be around by the time Cole is better. That's my guess. By the time Cole comes back, they won't be around.
Yeah, they are very under right now. They are definitely under. They're not over. They're definitely under. Tony is booking them like they have heat with him. We got Trey Jones who says Undisputed Kingdom fell off faster than Rich Homie Quan. Jeez. And thank you, Mike. He says the show is tremendous. Appreciate that, sir. And
Thank you, brother.
Here comes shit row.
Here comes shit row.
Yeah, he had commentators actively burying them on television.
It is wild. Michael Cole left his own devices a menace.
So bad. He's so mean. And then we had Tony Khan's big announcement. He is backstage and he says that fans have heard earlier today that AEW Dynamite is coming to TD Garden in Boston on March 13th. On that very important night, it will be AEW Big Business. It will be one of the most important nights in AEW history and one the entire pro wrestling industry will remember. Tickets will go on sale for this show on this Saturday. The show will be 5 weeks from last night, March 13th, the TD Garden in Boston, and Big Business. I like the name. I like the color scheme because immediately when I saw the color scheme, I was like, yeah, that's definitely Mercedes color scheme. And then when I saw this graphic, the motherfuckers is stupid. Boston. I was like, I knew they had to do something. They had to do something to be like, okay, we're gonna give it away, but we're not gonna give it away.
Yeah, like that. I hate the way that looks. That graphic is heinous. Who'd they pay for that graphic? Look at this shit. What kind of Photoshop ass shit is this? The big, see, it's a little bit bigger, you see? Because it's big business. Oh, turn down the saturation on this horse shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate this. I'm glad Mercedes is coming, but I hate that fucking graphic. Holy shit. That's where they made the budget cuts in the fucking graphics department.
Hey, I liked it.
This is huge. Huge is strong. It's huge for Mercedes. Like,
yeah.
All right, get distracted. Turn this off.
Like literally, like this is unheard of for a female wrestler. Ever.
Yeah. Would you do this if you didn't have her signed for, let's say, 3 years? I don't know. I'd do this if I had her signed for like just a year.
That's what I'm thinking. It is a multi-year deal.
I'm building her up so she can go get more money from fucking Nick Khan. Why would I do that?
Yeah. It is. It's definitely a multi-year deal because that's what when people have asked Sean Ross Sapp and Andrew Zarian, who took well-deserved laps around social media, because people were trying to talk down on them, coming after their families and stuff like that. It was weird. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird stuff. It was weird. It's just weird. It's just weird how people respond to reports. And I never even get the people that be like, oh, I don't hate on the reporters, but I just hate that they spoil stuff. Don't fucking read it. Like, like that's always my response. Either don't read it or like fix your timeline, clean your timeline up. We've gotten on Tony Khan for having a bad timeline. Y'all got bad timelines too. If y'all don't want stuff spoiled and it gets spoiled for you, you don't have good timelines. But yeah, it's just they took well-deserved laps, so I won't say anything much about that. And well-deserved, what they've said is that they believe that she has signed on for multiple years.
Has to be. It makes no sense to do that for her. You know, it's building her up so she can leave. It's a wild idea. Listen, that's what she wants to do. I'm here for it. I'm interested in seeing her. The women's division has improved. I don't know if it's under fucking threat of force. Yes, she's very tiny on the building somewhere.
And Darby standing on the bridge.
I didn't see Darby. Can you see it again?
Damn, did I erase it? I'll put it back up. But yeah, little Darby is standing on the bridge on the right hand side for it.
Yeah, this is good for everybody involved. Unless you only watch WWE, then I guess it's not good for you. But it's good for everybody else.
Pretty rough if you're with the WWE. Right on the right next to Joe. Yeah, next to Joe. But yeah, I think this. Do you think that he should have announced Mercedes' debut, or was this enough?
Enough to do what? I guess my question.
Enough for the big announcement.
In and of itself, it's not enough. But if you have any type of common sense, then yeah, it's enough. Like, You just tuned in. If it was on Twitter and they said the big announcement was AEW is coming to Boston, then no, it's fucking is not. This is heinous.
No.
But
Yeah.
if you see it, you go, oh, Mercedes or Banks, I guess you should call her. Oh, yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. And I disagree with this. Annika saying big business ? I feel like we could have done better, TK. Honestly, Annika, if you can come up with better, then you could say that. I have not heard anyone come up with better. Calling it the bank statement, calling it all this stuff.
Why not?
It feels too obvious.
You put Boston with the fucking money sign. It's all her.
So you think it should have been AEW bank statement? But she's not going to be
bank statement. She doesn't want to do that, I assume, because that's why she got rid of the bank thing. But I don't know. You can't go with anything money in the bank.
I really feel like she had a hand in this, in the name.
Sure she did. She's got quite the stroke. If Britt had stroke, I can only imagine what Mercedes has.
It feels like she's getting the Punk stroke.
That worked out well. I'm sure it'll work out even better with women. We know they're not the jealous type.
But I got another question I have for you. Do you think that the reason that they made this vague as they did, but with the little hint of Mercedes, is that we're not just going to get Mercedes on this night? Because big business money also has to do with someone else who's a free agent, someone who can make it rain in Boston.
I feel like listen, Okada's great. I'm not knocking him. You called him the Randy Orton with the engine.
Randy Orton who gives a fuck.
Yes. Unlike John Moxley, it's Randy Orton without the talent. But love you, John. But we've seen him in AEW before. I just don't have the same. You know what I mean? Like Punk or Mercedes was like, oh, never been here. Awesome. I see him showing up. Did you show up before or after Mercedes would be the question.
Yeah. I think they should do Revolution Okada and then Mercedes for big business.
Agreed. I always prefer things a little more spread out.
Yeah.
Instead of blowing your load all at once. It's not a Vince reference, it's a general
could be a Vince reference. I mean, if they edited a certain way, I mean,
Black Cox.
Oh God! Jesus Christ!
It's just a text message, but you can't read it in that voice, right? You have to.
No, you have to. I like the announcement. I think that Mercedes coming to AEW has to be viewed as a positive, and the way they've talked about it and the promotion for this, I think should I don't think it will, but it should ease a lot of the questions in regards to, is she going to be booked well? Because it seems like she's going to have a hand in what she's doing in AEW for sure.
At least for a while. Is she going to be booked well? Listen, I don't know. Will she be booked the way she likes? Certainly. Will she be booked well? I don't know. I don't like leaving people to their own devices. I don't think Ed has been great, even though he's had his own bend. I don't think Punk did great the first few months he was there. Don't care about Punk and Matt Sydal. I really do not. I'm sorry. I'll watch Sasha Banks and Red Velvet. I don't care. Just fight the big names and beat it. We need more Hulk Hogan's in this world. Said nobody ever except me. I'm saying it right now. Sasha Banks should show up for 6 matches this year, and that be the end of it. Only stars.
Who should be Mercedes' first feud?
I'm here for a locker room mutiny. It should be Toni Storm, and she should win. Sorry, you can all get upset and throw your fits. And
you know who I thought of, and I think it would be cool if they did it in Boston. They give us the double shot of Mercedes' debut, and she's interrupted by a returning Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
I really like that.
Like, yo, it hit me the other day, and I was just like, yeah, like that's just like you get the big pop for Mercedes, you get the big pop for Britt, and then Britt instantly turns herself heel by healing it up on Mercedes. And Mercedes, is not the same, is not your cookie cutter baby face, so she'll come back with some heat right back at Britt.
I'm here for that. I really like that idea. It's in Boston. No chance of Britt getting cheered over Banks. I don't think there's much chance of that anywhere else either, but definitely not in Boston. Ooh, that can be fun. That'd be really fun. I'm here for this idea now. I'm here for it.
Tony, we know you're watching. Feel free.
Yeah, it's very. When was the last time I saw that?
The one that exactly. That's the one that hit me in the head when I thought of the idea. I was like, it would be very reminiscent to Taker, Triple H. Look at the sign. That's what I call that segment. Taker, Triple H. Look at the sign because that's all they did. They had Taker return, Triple H return. They stare. Look at the sign. That's
somehow
it's one of the most effective segments in WWE history.
Yes, very well done. I'm here for it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We got another super chat donation from the good brother Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. You have been the man today, as always. Every day here on the True Hill YouTube channel.
Why you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy.
Oh, they misused him so bad.
Will says Mercedes and Punk are friends, so she might have Punk's temper when he's mad. Watch how Britt, in the grace of God, gets healthy and be her first match now that back in better. Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's also how it would look, and I'm all for it too. I'm all for it. Britt is like, you know what? My back is feeling.
I don't know.
I just felt. I think my back will be better on March 13th.
You think she'll have the same beef Punk had? She's not the lightning rod Punk is. I mean, just name wise, she isn't.
Yeah, and she also, like, you have to realize that it's like a pieces of dominoes and stuff like that. Mercedes doesn't have anyone she has this long history and real life beef with, like Punk did with Colt Cabana. That's the real thing that started everything. Is the issue that they had before AEW ever started. And just him being kind of shunned out led to people feeling a certain way, led to people talking, led to Punk feeling a certain way, and then so on and so forth.
That's a fair point. Mercedes is why I like her, is also not one for the bullshit. She will walk the fuck out, we've seen. And she knows what she's worth. So yeah, you might have some issues there, but I hope Tony's learned his lesson. This is not a debate. I'm the boss when I say goes. So if I want Mercedes to do this, then third, that's where she is, and the rest of you have to deal with it. Sorry.
Yeah. And I will also mention on commentary during the Timeless Tony Storm versus Red Velvet matchup, commentary noted something that was very interesting, and I was like, yeah, they're right. Every time Tony has lost the title, she's done a character change. She wins the title in 2022, loses it to Jamie at Full Gear. A month later, she turns heel and joins up with the Outcast. She wins back the title at Double or Nothing, loses the title at the 200 show, and then she becomes Timeless Tony Storm. So I did like that, them noting that, because I had not really kind of mentioned that or emphasized that or praised that they've done that. And it shows the good relationship that Tony Storm has with Tony Khan, that there is that significant change. And I felt like they noted that because Mercedes coming in might lead to another change when she finally crosses paths with Timeless Tony Storm.
I was about to say, as much as I love Timeless Tony Storm, it's brilliant. Everybody deserves credit. I don't feel like it could be a long running thing. Like this can't be a years long thing. So I'm curious. I'm now hopeful because she's clearly creative. This has been outrageous.
Yes. She is the most creative right now when it comes to AEW. I'm just very interested on how they're going to lay things out. Do they immediately go to the Mercedes and Timeless Tony Storm because that is the top two, like the most popular women that they will have on the roster when Mercedes starts with the company? Or do they go the other route of bringing someone like Britt back? Or maybe she wants to have the work weight type matches and they have her go against Hikaru Shida early on or something like that. There's a couple of different directions they can go with Mercedes Moné, and I like the fact that there's so many options.
Definitely agreed. I just want, to me, you always go give me 6 matches, and like as long as these happen, everything else is gravy. I don't know who those 6 would be now, since so many people are out. Baker, Hayter, Storm, Julia, Hart.
Yeah. Thunder Rosa.
And Willow. 6. Done. Let's move on.
You counted Thunder Rosa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thunder
I mean,
Rosa 5
I could throw in more. I mean, Chris Statlander.
Statlander for Big 7.
With Stokely.
Absolutely. Oh my God, Stokely and Banks. Oh my God. Yes, please. He turns on Statlander right away.
Get out the way. Oh my God. Stoley. You saw the Stoley side he had? Stoley?
I did not.
Because Willow made him a friendship bracelet, but ran out of letters. So it said Stoley. And then when she had her match with Queen Aminata on Rampage, he came out with a sign that says Stoley loves his girls.
Athena, no, she's ROH.
Athena's another one, yeah. I would put Athena, but they have to find someone who can replace her in Ring of Honor, and they don't seem to be in a hurry to do that unless they're gonna do Nyla Rose, which I don't mind either.
Okay, I can see that. Maybe
I can see Willow as her first feud. I can see that.
Maxine Dupree's hilarious. I feel so.
Oh my God! Like literally, I have said your quote multiple times, and that matchup on Raw was the last time because they put her in a match on Raw and they literally had no faith in her to wrestle, so they made it like 2 minutes.
I feel so bad for her. I saw a clip of that match. I was just like, ooh, listen, I get you. Listen, she can get reps, just not here. Sorry. She's pretty, she's charismatic. She can't get reps here. You got to send her to NXT.
How dare you, Triple H, go out in a press conference and say that Jade Cargill is not ready when you have this woman on TV?
I love that. Is that what we have the same expectations for Maxine as we do for Jade?
No, but if you are keeping people off of TV for not being ready, then yeah,
keeping stars off TV for not being ready. Maxine can do all the fuck she wants on TV. What's that gonna hurt me or her? Right back to the spot she belongs. Like, what do you want from me?
It's
I have Jade look bad. It's a lot of money I spent. Oh,
Jesus Christ. All right, next up.
It is not. Sorry, last thing. Camille versus Deonna Purrazzo is not a dream match. I'm sick of you cocksuckers throwing that word around. It's not a dream match. I saw Romeo arguing with somebody a little while ago about whether or not Dragon and Andrade was a dream match because it happened already. No, it's not a dream match because it's not a dream match, but it happened at all. It just isn't. I'm sorry. Jesus fucking Christ. Stop throwing around dream match.
Dream match has to be between 2 stars.
2 superstars. I'll go further. Seth Rollins can't have a dream match. He can't. There's nobody that's a dream. That's a Shawn Michaels. There is no Seth Rollins dream match. Sorry. Dream match. It's in the word. Dream. Austin and Goldberg. Dream, motherfucker. Dream. Rock and Michaels. Dream. Stop it. Deonna Purrazzo and Camille. What are we doing?
Next up, we had Chris Jericho going one-on-one with Konosuke Takeshita. This one a grudge matchup. Yeah. Jericho's bumps in this matchup looked pretty rough. There were times where Jericho's head really snapped and bounced off the mat a few times in this matchup, especially on like the Blue Thunder bombs and stuff like that. So I was like, ugh. But I mean, the middle portion of this matchup, it got into the next gear, and it actually picked up towards the end of this matchup with some good near falls, especially on that Avalanche Blue Thunder bomb, which got him a close near fall. Takeshita hits the power drive knee. He tries for another, but Jericho blocks it into the walls of Jericho. Callis smartly throws a chair into the ring to distract the referee as the ref is dealing with the chair. Callis comes on the apron and pops Jericho in the head with a screwdriver. This leads to Takeshita locking on the walls of Jericho himself. It looks like Jericho's going to fade in the move as his arm dropped twice, but he gets his arm up the third time. He tries to fight to the rope, but Takeshita pulls him back into the middle of the ring, changes it into a lion tamer, and Jericho taps out. Konosuke Takeshita becomes the first man to tap out Chris Jericho with his own damn move, and he beats his second AEW World Champion, following up from his 2 victories over Kenny Omega last summer. But
Jesus, was that long ago?
Fucking boo! Fucking boo! This shit started in July, motherfuckers! July! Why is this shit still going on? And why did that match not feel like the end? It did not feel like the end. How the fuck did Konosuke Takeshita beat Kenny Omega twice clean as a whistle? But he needs Don Callis and a screwdriver to beat Chris Jericho. Tony Khan. I don't like suggesting people lose their job, but like,
holy shit!
If the whole worry of keeping Chris Jericho is that WWE might grab him up, let him at this point. Let him. You think that if WWE chose to do that, that'd be even stupider than the decisions they've made in the last 2 weeks if they signed up Chris Jericho right now. So you don't have to hold on to him. You should let him go. And you should not be coming up with finishes to protect Chris Jericho anymore. This man lost to Action Andretti. He lost to Action Andretti cleaner than he lost to Konosuke Takeshita.
He's a babyface now. I never text you during Dynamite because I don't give a fuck enough about Dynamite to watch Dynamite and text at the same time as possible. But I had to. I was just watching this match. Like, I was watching how fast this guy was moving, how fast he's going from spot to spot, how much he was in control of the action. So he's wrestling himself. He's just doing anything he can to make this passable. And I think he made it passable. The finish is heinous.
It was passable, but yeah, the finish.
Finish is a screwdriver. Takeshita? He just beat Kenny Omega. Not just. That was a long time ago. But he did beat Kenny Omega.
He did beat Darby Allin pretty clean too. Just a couple of weeks ago.
I understand Jericho's a draw. At least last time I checked, he was. But not enough to protect him this much. I'm sorry. It just isn't. You got to move on at some point. And you worry about him going to WWE. I don't think you should be, first of all. He's not going to find that kind of paycheck in WWE. H has always had a pretty good assessment of Chris Jericho. I always thought he was a hater, but he's got a pretty good assessment of where he ranks.
Jericho has a pretty good assessment of Triple H if you read that Meltzer report.
About what was it?
He was an average wrestler who politicked, and still average wrestler who now has power.
You think he's an average wrestler?
Huh?
You think he's an average wrestler? You'd agree with that horseshit?
Outside of the year 2000, yeah.
Outside of the year 2000, so outside of before he blew his leg out.
Yeah, before that year, and before he blew his leg out, he was average.
Okay, he's average. I just want to make sure I hear you correctly. Average.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I can take that from Brett. I'm not taking that from Chris Jericho. Sorry. I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. Who the fuck is you? Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I've always thought Triple H had a pretty good assessment on most wrestlers outside of himself. This is over. He's not leaving. Jesus, everybody's turned on him, and rightfully so. Let me fair. Last time I said stuff like this, he pulled another great gimmick out of his ass. But it's been a while.
It has.
I'm ready to call it death knell.
The last time Jericho that I liked Jericho was ironically was something that a lot of people hated, was his Ring of Honor World Title run.
Ooh, yeah. Thank you.
That was
the kid, exactly.
And that's nearly 2 years ago now, guys.
I get Michael Jordan not wanting me on the dream team, but Scottie Pippen not wanting me on the dream team. That's exactly what it's like. Brett is Michael Jordan, and Chris Jericho is Scottie Pippen. Like, you? Really? You can talk. Jordan can talk shit. You? Stop it. Average. Better you, motherfucker.
We got another super chat donation from the good brother Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. We always appreciate that.
Weapon in hand, too. And Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Kenny as long as they can. Hangman's going to come out here.
And John Moxley was talking shit. Did you see that?
What?
About God.
Triple H?
No. Well, I would. Oh my god! If that was to happen, I might fucking blow a gasket. He was talking shit about WWE. And watch lazy wrestling and lazy wrestlers, and you didn't see that? You didn't see that?
Oh, the CMLO promo.
Yeah, this lost his mind because you all who piped him up to think he's fucking Kenny Omega when he's John Moxley. Sorry, or Steve Austin. I forget.
We got
He's
Will
John
Chisholm
Moxley.
with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Will. He says that Britt will come back if Mercedes wants to work Thunder Rosa. Then she'll return. How long will it take for Britt to be mad at the fact that Mercedes replaced her as Queen Bee? She's gonna get mad. Like I think she got mad already when she found out she signed.
I think it's over. Yeah, I think the Brit anger has came and gone. When she said about the Christian and MJF's airtime versus the women's division, that was it. That was the pop. It's over. She has resigned herself to where she is.
And she had to shut the fuck up because he did give them time and started giving them live promos in front of everybody, but just not Britt.
It's over. She understands. At least I hope she does.
Hopefully. Yeah, power driver finisher. That's why this whole win it wasn't effective. Like you just had Hobbs squash this dude. Like so many people have beaten him clean, and then you didn't have Takeshita beat him clean. It's like that makes no sense.
Maybe he doesn't view Takeshita the way you all do, or the way I do.
The way I do.
Star. Yeah, he's a fucking star. He should be one of the fucking. I don't want to say pillars. I hate that word. One of the centerpieces of the company. But I don't think he views him that way. I don't think he does. Sorry.
Christopher K said, Jimmy just said he wanted more Hogans. Jericho said, I'll ride that wave, brother.
I simply meant people who only have fucking 10 matches a fucking year, and they're all important. That's what I meant.
That's Brock. That's Brock. That's not Hogan.
Yeah, this is Brock. It's a Brock action. It's an NWO Hogan action.
No, even NWO Hogan had a few matches on TV.
Yeah, against the Giant, against Lex Luger. Yeah, sure.
Will Chisholm with another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Will Chisholm. You have been awesome as always. Thank you so much.
That's fucking bullshit.
He says, well, I got some bad news. We're not through with this Jericho shit. We're in the second quarter, my friend.
Yeah. I don't know why you were hoping this was coming to an end on Dynamite. This is a pay-per-view around the corner. You don't think we're making it to that? You're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, no, I figured. I literally said after Battle of the Belts that they were going to do Takeshita and Hobbs versus Jericho and Sammy. I didn't even mention that Sammy came out during the matchup, hit Hobbs with the chair. Hobbs no-sold that, which was great. And then he hit him with a cutter, and then they fought into the crowd. I love Hobbs no-selling all his shit. He even got up after the cutter.
Sammy came out to a big pop, too. Fucking gross.
Yeah, it was gross. Like how are you getting pops still? What are we doing here? Right? This Phoenix crowd is too friendly. We got Joy Boy who says, I like that Ocho run. I did too. That Ishii matchup where Ishii chopped his chest bloody. That I still remember that.
Yeah, he was going good for a while there. I don't remember what happened. Who fucked that up?
Because even the Starks rivalry was fine. I think it's the Adam Cole feud. That's where that's the point of no return. Because he got someone fresh, someone who just turned babyface, coming back from a year-long injury, and they just couldn't make up their fucking mind with that feud. Like it was like, okay, we're gonna involve the Outcasts and Britt, and we're gonna do this cool little angle where they beat up Britt in front of Cole, but the handcuffs don't work. The handcuffs don't have Cole cuffed to the actual fucking ropes. Then they made that stupid T-shirt with Britt's black eye, and it's like, that's the wrong message. What are we doing here? And then they invited Sabu for the pay-per-view.
Right. What is going on?
The matchup literally killed Las Vegas so much, people still don't want Las Vegas to be the home of Double or Nothing 2024. That's how bad that match was, that it killed that crowd dead to the point that people think that crowd is dead for a pay-per-view.
He should just go away. Go away for a bit. Just a little bit. Maybe after Revolution. Just for a little bit. 3 months, 4 months. Yeah, 3 months.
That's what Jeff Valley Driver's saying. He says he should just take a break for like 3 months minimum.
Yeah, then you come back. People are excited to see you because you haven't been fucking down our throat for fucking 4 years.
Yeah, the Starks feud was fine because it just ended with Starks beating him. Like there wasn't.
Yeah, it was out of order.
It was out of order because they had him beat him the first week of 2023, and it's just like, okay, what? Why do we need to go on? Do we need to go on?
Right.
Like,
No.
do we need to go on? But in the end, Starks wins, and it was a good match at Revolution. So I will say that was fine. We'll keep it at fine. Fine is like below good, people. You have to understand that. Fine, solid. That's what I say when I don't think something is good, but it is passable.
Passable is a great
solid.
word. You want to have sex with your girl, she says fine. I mean, you wouldn't be exactly excited about that, but you'll take it. Fine.
And then finally on this show, we ended off with the main event. Jimmy, Sting and Darby Allin challenging Ricky Starks and Big Bill for the AEW World Tag Team Championships in a tornado tag team matchup. And boy, oh boy, did they just say we're just going to have this wild, crazy matchup. We're getting TNA Sting because he's wearing a shirt and he's fighting through the crowd. Sting had his sons in the first row, which the funniest comment that I heard about the sons is that the sons look like the real Sting and NWO Sting. Because they did have his face. They did have a very young Sting face, both of his sons. They fight through the crowd. Of course, Sting does his New Jack impersonation at 64 years old, doing a fucking dive off the balcony. This has become one of his signature moves in this run, Jimmy. When things return, Sting hits a Stinger splash against the barricade on Big Bill, who basically no-sells it and just runs through Sting. Allin, this is the spot of the whole entire show for me, Jimmy. Darby Allin tries his torpedo suicide dive.
Oh, boss man!
The black hole slam! Oh my God, that might have been one of my favorite boss man black hole slams ever. This was just visually tremendous. Back in the ring, Bill lifts Allin up in a choke before just slamming him down, bouncing Allin's head off the mat like a ball. At one point, he throws Allin clear over his head. Bill and Starks set up a table ringside as Starks calls for Bill to press Darby into it, but Sting comes in. He fights off both men. Starks sneaks up behind Sting and lands a Scorpion Death Drop, but Allin breaks up the pin. Allin and Starks start sugging it out. Starks backflips out of the corner, tweaks his ankle a bit. Sting and Darby trade Stinger and coffin splashes on Big Bill in the corner. We get a code red and coffin drop follow up on the floor. Starks misses an enziguri on Sting, who then connects with the Scorpion Death Drop, but Big Bill appears in the frame. Allin jumps on Big Bill's back into a sleeper. Bill makes it to the apron where he's like, oh, fuck, there's a person on my back. And then Darby gouges his eyes, and then both guys fall into the table. We get Sting and Ricky start going at it. We get a great character moment where Sting is a little bit drowsy and Darby and Ricky's looking at him, aiming for the spear, and he has like a second of kind of regret of not wanting, a brief hesitation of not wanting to finish Sting here. So Sting fires up, but Ricky decides in the end to hit the spear. He gets a close 2 count. Both men are in the corner. They fire up. Ricky runs at Sting for another spear, but Sting catches him in a DDT position, turns him around into a Scorpion Death Drop, the second one of the matchup for the 1, 2, 3. Sting at 64 years old in the year of our Lord 2024 is an AEW champion. Sting and Darby Allin finally winning the AEW World Tag Team Championships. They celebrate with Sting's son. Sting has all his sons up on the ring, in the ring. We got the older sons on the apron. We got him and Darby Allin celebrating the win. This is a great way to close the show, a happy ending that we all been looking for, and nothing to complain about here. Until those damn dastardly young bucks in their nice shiny white suits show up with white bats They attack Sting from behind. They blast Darby Allin in the head with the bat, busting him open, which made it was like, oh, that's why they wore the white suits. It's when Darby gets busted open, they just start rubbing it into the suit. This gives you the great visual with the blood stained all over their white suits. And this beatdown went down long, and it got tremendous heat, Jimmy. It got incredible heat from this Phoenix crowd. They hated the Young Bucks, booed them out the building as they stood tall, even attacking Sting's sons. So they laid out Sting and all of his sons standing tall here, and they made sure that Sting and Darby Allin, they have their attention now. Great stuff, in my opinion. I thought the main event was very good. The tornado tag. Can I just give credit where credit is due? Big Bill was the MVP of this matchup, in my opinion. Big Bill came off like what Sting kind of set it up last week when he was like, "Are you a killer?" That motherfucker looked like a killer in this matchup. The visual on that Boss Man slam, how he was just looked like a monster, felt like a monster going against Sting, going against Darby. He was the MVP of the matchup, in my opinion. He felt like a bigger star coming out this matchup than Ricky did. And that, I'm not saying he's a bigger star than Ricky, but he felt like one coming out this matchup. I love the last ending with Ricky with the great character moment, which kind of hints at maybe him going back babyface. And I wouldn't mind a Ricky and Big Bill rivalry, because for a makeshift team, they got a whole of a hell lot out of this than a lot of people thought they would at the beginning. This was just a feel-good moment with the matchup, but that ending, that is how you kind of set up a big-time championship matchup for a pay-per-view. That felt very old school in the nature. There wasn't no super kicks, wasn't no fancy spots. It was literally, you could have saw that beatdown in 1980 or 2024. It was very basic by the numbers, but it worked.
I thought it was a really good tag match. Really good? Yeah, I got really good. That was a really good tag match. Bill probably be the MVP. However, I do have a Darby take. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying overall as a wrestler. Okay, to be clear, so don't at me. But Darby Allin is the best little man versus big man wrestler ever. I'm sorry, no disrespect to Rey Mysterio. Mysterio's better than Darby, but little man versus big man, Darby, every time.
It is like, yeah, I'm like shocked you said that, but I'm more shocked that you said that, because you very rarely give that high of a praise for someone who's like a current generation wrestler. But like I can't argue with you. The Joe series, like, it's like all these big men, he just is like the perfect wrestler for them.
Yeah, it's Darby and Joe, it's Darby and Miro, it's Darby and Big Bill, it's Darby and Brian Cage, it's Darby and Cucks that I can throw them around, and it's just great every time. I'm such a fan. How do I say this? How do I say this nicely? How do I say this without throwing up, rather? As far as the post-match goes, I thought it was really well done. I was shocked how happy I was the Bucks showed up. Not because I hate happiness and didn't want to see Sting and company happy, but it just felt like the perfect time. Like, this is what the gimmick is supposed to be. Here's Sting and them having a moment. It's their moment. It's beautiful. This beatdown can wait till next week, but it's better now in the middle of your moment, because now it's our moment. What a bunch of scumbags. I was here for it. It was great.
It was so great. And it's because it went so long, too. Like, I there's sometimes like a post-match meeting will go too long, and I'm like, that went too long. It would have been better if they cut it off after the. No! This was perfect for the length that it went, because it just kept so old school. It was like, 1990, 1980. I could have saw this.
It's so good. The white suits worked. Even Matt Jackson felt believable to me.
And oh my God, I forgot the best touch they did. The EVP trigger.
Oh, right. That's what I wanted to complain about. Thank you. I'm glad you're right. I like the EVP trigger as a name. To be clear, it is the appropriate name change. But we're in the middle of this gory beatdown, of this heinous shit. And Excalibur feels the need to interrupt everything, to tell us about this fucking name. There's somebody's being murdered in the ring, sir. I don't think we should care about getting the name right if you don't mind. So fucking stupid. I hate him so much. He's so bad.
We gotta have him say that next week.
Yes.
That after the beatdown, he told them that they told him that it's called the EVP trigger.
Matthew Jackson pulled me into his room, and he said, first of all, whoa. It's Matthew Jackson. not Vincent
He closed the door. Was there anyone present?
Matthew Jericho pulled me into the room. Like, what?
What?
Why to Matthew?
He says Darby is the Brett of self-destruction.
Yeah, fucking brilliant. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Man, that's high praise, but like I said, I can't argue with you too much. Darby is just so good against these big men. And like, man, I watched that match and I was like, I really want to see Darby and Big Bill after this.
Right? Oh, right. Bill and Starks. I'm going to assume Bill's going to be not very pleased that Starks hesitated on that fucking spear. That could be fun. And I got to be honest. I was really enjoying Starks as a heel with Punk. But ever since, I don't know. It's just like...
He's too popular. He's like the cool heel. And it's just like... He's better as a babyface, and I would not mind them using that character moment to turn him babyface and have him and Bill at Revolution. I wouldn't mind.
Oh, him and Bill gonna. Oh wait, what's the last time Darby Starks had a match like that on pay-per-view? Didn't he lose to Hobbs in 4 minutes? Let's not do that. Let's wait. Don't get me a pay-per-view. It's all right. We can miss pay-per-view.
He can do it at Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing. Yeah, usually have 13 matches anyway. We got another super chat donation from the great Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. As always, I'm trying to figure out which one we're gonna play because we've pretty much played them all.
Let's fucking go.
Of course, you see him Punk, that awkward smile.
Will says it's that lame ass way they did the JAS breakup, and he got in Kenny Omega's storyline, and now we're here. And he held back Proud and Powerful from the title before they broke up.
Oh shit! Is that true?
Yeah.
He
had them in his group, but one of the reasons why they said they never went for the titles is because Jericho had his feuds. They can't go for the title because he's feuding with the Pinnacle right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. You know what? I can't disagree with any of this. Has Jericho done more? I can't ever say he's done more harm than good to AEW because he gave them immediate credibility by being there in the beginning. Since then, has he done more harm than good? I would say yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no denying that. But thank you so much for the super chat donation, Will. But that brings us to the close of our show here. Let us know in the chat your match of the night, MVP, LVP, what you gave the show out of 10, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and of course, final call for super chat donations as well for me and Jimmy for the February 7, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board out of 10. What did you give the show, Jimmy?
Solid 8. That was a really good show.
I thought it was a great show. I will give it a 9 out of 10. I think that the only kind of the full point is off for my frustrations with still having Chris Jericho on my TV screen.
Good job, Ace. Good job, Joseph.
Great job, Annika.
Annika,
great job, Annika. Jimmy, what was your match of the night?
Oh, it's the Open. It's Swerve and Hangman. All the other matches were from to really good. But that was great.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Obviously, the match of the night, Hangman and Swerve. Jimmy, your MVP for the show.
We can do codes. I hate doing codes. I'll go with Swerve and Hangman.
I'm going to go with Sting for the great moment, Big Bill for having arguably one of the best matches of his career, and the Young Bucks for that great closing angle. Jimmy, your LVP.
Oh, it's got to be Chris Jericho. I'm sorry. Sorry, sir. Tony Khan gets a reprieve this week because you were in there with fucking Takeshita, and you just see the big ass gap between the two of you. Boy.
Yeah, it's definitely Chris Jericho for me this week, guys. Definitely, by far. Jimmy, let the people know where they can follow you on social media, what you got going on your channel, and when they will see you again.
At Jimmy Macram on Twitter. Nah. And at Jimmy Macram on YouTube. Nah. Sorry. I'm down until 7 tonight. We'll see what happens.
That's fair. Frantic World says MVP the women's division again.
The
Swerve
women's division? What?
Mercedes Monet.
Didn't do anything. Would you stop it?
Attica says MVP the crowd for possibly giving us a double turn of Hangman and Swerve. Power Driver Finisher says 8.5, and he's giving it 4.5 for simply not having Jeff Jarrett on it. So he must have really liked this show. But yes, that brings us to a close. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. Get your True Hill, become a part of the True Hill Heat Patreon, where you got exclusive content plus much, much more. You get your merchandise, ProWrestlingTees.com, ForYourWear.com, and join us live here tonight. We got total nonstop bloods, but we're going on a little bit early because, yes, we will do a live watch along for the WrestleMania kickoff press conference. Jimmy, you're more than welcome to join us and give your live reaction to what goes down at tonight's press conference.
I'll be busy either with my family and or crying. So there's that.
Yes, but remember, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Remember to drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here, and join us live here tomorrow as well. I'll be back here live at 12:05 p.m. Eastern time with our New Beginning in Osaka preview. Yes, Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., Kazuchika Okada versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the final time in the 5-on-5 steel cage matchup. We give you our predictions and more tomorrow at the New Beginning in Osaka preview. Me and Jimmy will be back next Thursday. So until then, we'll be back at our regular time, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. For Jimmy, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble 132, Roaring Bloody Business. We are signing off until next time.